All right, guys. So as you can see here, I'm taking some pork chops. I'm laying them in a greased 9x13 foil baking dish, baking pan, whatever you want to call it. They don't have to perfectly be flat. We'll arrange them in a second. All right. Making this easy, awesome dinner. I like these quick, easy dinners. If you're short on time, whatever you need. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm gonna take some pepper. You can add whatever kind of spice you want to these guys. This is just kind of what I like on mine. I absolutely love pork chops. I don't feel like they get enough love like they used to when I was a kid. Garlic powder. Ooh, that pepper just got my nose. All right, I'm gonna add a little salt. Not gonna do that much salt because one of our ingredients is a little salty that you'll see in a minute. All right, that looks good so far. Now I'm gonna take some sour cream. I'm just gonna take a spoonful. Get some on each one. If you've ever done anything like this, guys, I made this once before and it was absolutely delicious. I think pork gets a big misconception because people always think it's gonna be overcooked or it doesn't have a lot of flavor to it. But if you just add a few simple ingredients to it, you could really make it taste good. Okay, I'm just gonna take this, kind of spread it out a little bit over each pork chop. Oh, that looks good. It already smell good. It's such a quick, simple dinner. Literally takes no time. The longest time is obviously baking, but okay. Now I just cut up these chives. Chives are some of my favorite. You could do green onion, you could do whatever you want. I like these. There's a nice onion flavor without the chunks of onion. Believe it or not, I'm actually not a fan of onion, but I do like the flavor of it. I just don't like the crunchy part. I'm weird. Anyways, speaking of onion, one of my last steps, I'm gonna do this bag of French fried onions. I like these because it gives it a nice crunch to it. And it's a ton of flavor. This is what I was talking about as far as the salt goes. I'm just gonna do this whole thing. Not that much left. All right. Spread these out a little bit. And that's really it, guys. Now I'm gonna take this, put in the oven on 350 for about 35 minutes. All right, just took these pork chops out of the oven. I forgot to say, make sure you cover this with foil before you bake it. Oh, look at that. It's kind of smell like sour cream and onion potato chips, which I really like. Oh, these look really, really good. Look at that. I'm excited. All right, guys, I have 16 ounces of cooked egg noodles. Layer these in the bottom of a pan. Now I'm gonna do 1 pound of ground beef. I did cook this with some taco seasoning. Put that in here. Now I'm gonna do a can of cheddar cheese soup. Perfect. Next, can of Rotel. I am not gonna drain this. All right. Now I'm gonna do some sour cream. I'm gonna do a 16-ounce container. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna take everything in here and give it a good mix. What I'm doing here is a taco pasta. Very easy, quick dinner you could do. You could cook everything the night before if you need to. I did cook everything beforehand. It doesn't take that long to bake then either. Coming together nicely. I could probably almost eat it like this right now. All right. I'm just gonna kind of flatten it out a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm gonna add some shredded cheddar cheese. I'm just gonna do all of it. Give it a nice layer on top. You need cheese when you're doing anything taco. Perfect. Now for one of my last steps, I'm gonna do some fresh green onion. I don't know, looks like a leaf. All right. Now you're gonna take this, bake it on 350 for about 20 minutes. All right, I took this out of the oven a little while ago, let it sit for a minute to cool off. This is our taco pasta bake. Go ahead and serve myself some. How good that looks, guys. Oh, it smells really good too. All right. How I like to finish this off a little bit. Sour cream, black olives, of course, and I like to do a little bit of this mild salsa verde. Just a little bit. Gives it a nice flavor. Perfect. How good that looks. All right, guys, starting off with some diced up sweet potatoes. I'll layer those right here. Now I have some Brussels sprouts. I did cut these up a little bit into fourths, some halves. Put those right there. I'm doing a nice, easy fall dinner. Now I have some shallots that I diced up. Those right there. And last, apples. It's where the fall part comes in with the sweet potatoes and the apples. I'm just gonna place those right there. This looks good so far. Now I'm gonna take some olive oil and I'm just gonna drizzle some on top of everything. Just to help it bake, give it a little bit of flavor. Perfect. And do some sea salt. Kind of do whatever spices you want with this, guys. They're just, again, ones that I like. Black pepper. I like a little bit of pepper. Do some onion powder. And some garlic powder. Add garlic in everything. All right, perfect. Now I'm gonna take this, set this aside. Now right here, I have some chicken thighs. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna take a plastic bag. And I'm gonna take each one of these, put it in here. Yes, my hands are clean. I washed my hands. I did not wash the chicken because I don't know why people say that, that's weird. Put that there. Now I'll be right back. I'm gonna go wash my hands. All right, I'm back. So now I'm gonna take some sage. It's one of my favorite herbs to use when I make chicken or any kind of meat. I like using it with pork too. I'll take that, put some of those in there. Just a couple leaves, nothing crazy. And same with this, I'm gonna add some onion powder in here. Some garlic powder. A little bit of salt. I'm gonna actually add some red wine vinegar. This will give it a nice tang to it. I think it'll help balance out with the sweet from the apples and the sweet potatoes. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of that in there. I'm also gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Now you're gonna close this up, air out, and just give everything a good shake. Sure all the chicken gets covered with all those spices, the olive oil, the red wine vinegar. Like I said, this is a very healthy dinner that we're doing today, guys. You could always use chicken breast in this dinner if you would like to as well. I just like using chicken thigh. I'm a dark meat fan, and I just feel like it has a little bit more flavor because of the fat content in the skin. You could also take off the skin if you want as well, whatever you like. Okay, now I'm gonna take this back in and I'm gonna give everything on here kind of a mix. You don't have to mix it, you could just kind of bake it how it is, but I know what some of you are gonna say, why'd you put it in layers if you're just gonna mix it anyways? Well, I just want to show you the individual ingredients kind of by themselves first and how I was doing it. Instead of just kind of throwing everything on here. Now I'm going to take my chicken that I had in the bag. I'm going to take each thigh. I'm just going to place it on top of my vegetables. Great dinner right here, guys. I love chicken thighs. There's so much you could do with them. You could always let these marinate overnight as well. But I think with the vinegar and the olive oil and the garlic, it gives it a nice flavor right off the bat. Okay. I'll leave the sage on there for now. And I'm gonna put this in the oven now on 450 for about 30 to 35 minutes. All right, I took this out of the oven a little while ago, let it cool a little bit. So you can see our chicken came out really nicely, our vegetables. I'm gonna take chicken thigh, I'm gonna take two. Take some of these vegetables. This away. All right, first we're starting off with 2 cups of this uncooked minute rice. Put that in the bottom of a greased baking dish. Now I'm gonna do a can of cream of chicken soup. All out. Can of cream of mushroom soup. Stuff sounds gross when it comes out. Now I'm gonna take some water, fill up one of these cans. About 1 can of water. Pour that in there, need some moisture to cook that rice. Now I'm gonna give this a little mix first before I do anything else. I know it doesn't look that appetizing right now, but this is a very quick and easy dinner. Something you could do with leftovers, put together really quick. Doesn't take that long to make in the oven. All right. So leave it like that. Now I have some leftover chicken that I made the night, well, 1 or 2 nights ago. Use the rest of that, pour that in there. Also gonna do a packet of French onion soup mix. Perfect. And now I'm gonna also do a little bit of parsley. Kind of add whatever spices you want, but I feel like this French onion soup mix has a lot of flavor in it on its own already. Now I'm just gonna mix everything again. Make sure you get all those pieces of chicken covered with the rice and the soup. That French onion soup mixture mixed in really well. All right, that looks good. I'm getting rice all over the place, but that's okay. I feel like it's kind of weird if you're one of those people who cook and you're very, very neat and you never make a mess. I feel like for some reason that means you're not that good of a cook. Gotta make a mess when you're cooking. But I could be wrong. All right. Looks like everything's mixed pretty well together. Now I'm gonna take this Italian style cheese blend. It's mozzarella provolone, a little bit of Parmesan. Use the whole bag. Just gonna kind of spread that out. That looks perfect. Now for one of my last steps, I'm gonna take some green onion and just sprinkle that on top. I don't know why, when I buy the green onion from the store already cut up like this, instead of cutting it myself, it always has these like big leaves, these big pieces in there, and I don't like those. Anyways. All right. Now you're gonna take this, bake it on 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. All right, guys, this is our chicken and rice dinner. We had the minute rice in here, the can of cream of chicken soup, the can of cream of mushroom soup, some cheese, chicken, green onion. As you can see, soaked up everything nicely. It's really good. The rice is cooked perfect. All right, I'm placing these pork chop fillets. And I know I read in the comments you guys were saying these weren't pork chops, but actually on the label it did say pork chops. Anyways, I'm putting these in the bottom of a greased baking dish. Now I know I recently just did a video about this, but I read a lot of your comments and you guys had such good ideas on what else to put on this. I just decided to do a different take on some of these. So now what I'm gonna do is a little bit of salt. Spice up your meat a little bit. Black pepper. Come on, big chunks. Okay. Now I have some cream cheese that I cubed up right here. I'm gonna take, I let this sit out and soften so it's kind of a little mushy, but take one piece each and put it on the pork chop. Kind of spread it out a little bit. My hands are clean, I did wash my hands. All right. Now last time I did sour cream, but I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with these. Okay, that looks good. A little bit more on this one. Okay. Now I'm gonna take this apple pie filling, and I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Pork chops and applesauce, but this is my take. So I'm gonna put a little bit of pie filling on each one. I'm kind of going for that sweet and savory taste to it. It's already got a bunch of cinnamon and everything in here. I was gonna do straight applesauce, but I thought the chunks of apples I read in some of you guys' comments would be better. Oh, that one's got a lot of jelly on it. That was good so far. And get these out. All right. That looks great. Now I'm gonna take, I have some fresh sage right here. And I'm just gonna take one leaf and put it on each one. Sage goes really, really well with pork. So these are a little bit fancier than the ones I did last time. Sour cream and fried onions. Got some sage in my throat. Perfect. Now I have half a stick of butter right here and some Ritz crackers. Move this aside. I'm just gonna take these, crunch them up in the package. And of course they open. Okay. Take these, put them in the butter, and give it a good mix. All right, I'm gonna take these back. And now, yes, I'm gonna use my hands again. Just gonna put some of this right on top of each pork chop. Give it a nice little crunchy topping. Again, with the sweet and savory. I think these are gonna be really, really good. Might even taste better than the sour cream and chive ones that I did. All right. Looks great. Now you're gonna take these guys, bake it on 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes. Look at those pork chops. Those look amazing. I forgot to say before I put them in the oven, make sure you guys cover it with foil. Anyways, let me grab myself one of these. Oh, they smell absolutely amazing. How good that looks. Let's smell the sage, the apples. This to the side. A little bit of everything in there. Some of those crackers are still crunchy too. How good that looks.